My name is Rhapsody. Welcome back. Slay the Spire, the Heartbreaker runs. Alright, well, Defect level 10. Right? Yes. Because we did the... Actually, you know what? I should actually push all of the Ascension numbers up. There we go. Just so that I can help keep track of it. Another try. Ooh, remove 2 cards from the deck is very powerful as Defect. I'm thinking I actually may want to go on this left path just so that I can get 2 question marks, but then also a rest before the elite, probably upgrade Zap. Rest after the elite, probably upgrade the dual cast. Cut in, get my relic for the floor. Then another rest. Hopefully I've got a card by that point to upgrade, and then I can decide whether or not I want to go for a clean sweep out or whether I want to go for another elite. That's a bunch of rests on the first floor, a bunch of upgrades on the first floor, and by thinning down our deck by removing a defend and strike, the cards that we collect and upgrade are going to be more consistently drawn, which is going to be a good old time. Awesome. Thank you, Dual Cast, for the hard carry. Self-repair, compile driver, and go for the eyes. Well, the one I immediately look at is self-repair, as you might imagine. But I'm worried that self-repair in a deck that doesn't have a... How do I state this? I'm worried that in a deck that doesn't have power synergy, self-repair might be less powerful than just a defend card of its same nature, right? Of its same energy cost, rather. I'm going to take it. We'll see how this goes. Unfortunately, not too much I could have done there. Cool. I actually could have made sure that that worked out in that fashion. No, I couldn't have made sure. Even striking the front line, it could have just double struck the back line with the split. Okay, fair enough. Beam Cell Streamline Recursion. The deck is relatively thin at the moment. The problem is I can't rely on the deck being... Whoa, I can turn the beta art on here? Cool. I'm actually going to leave the beta art on that. It's actually... I kind of dig it. That said, maybe I need to take it just so that I have some damage in the upcoming elite fights. Okay. Okay. I can see that reasoning. Extreme shame that there's no way to mitigate the ridiculous amount of damage I took that turn, but oh well. We'll have to learn to live it or lump it. Static Discharge versus Scrape versus Rebound. The thing about Static Discharge is it's actually going to be a ridiculous amount of lightning generated in a battle for us, because we just do take damage in boss fights. That just happens. It just does. I'm removing a strike because of the streamline that's now in the deck. Also going to use an attack potion here. I use that attack potion because I'm worried about this Gremlin Wizard getting to its turn where it actually starts to attack. Well... Really? Exactly the kind of thing I was worried about. God. An elite would deal less damage to me than that. Defragment there, happily. I believe that the upgrade on the damage of Streamline is going to save me a lot of HP over the course of this, especially elite fight, but others in the future as well. Pretty ridiculous amount of damage to be taking, eh? Dreamcatcher whenever you rescue mana cards to your deck, as well as a strength potion and second streamline. I don't know. Maybe I put a second streamline in it, keep the deck thin right now. This is Ascension 10, so I'm a little cautious about this, but I'd like to try it. I'll rest here. I get a card selection for trying to do so. Don't really want any of those, though. Data disk over a sapphire key. Yeah, sure. Definitely. Got a lot of things that I want to upgrade early, so I'm trying not to rest if I can avoid it. Okay. Do I want to go for another elite and then a shop? Yes. It's okay, because of the way that these enemies dilute our deck with the dazed, we're likely to be able to... Ooh, gosh, that sucks. We're likely to still have a turn where we can play the streamline without having too much issue. Or... we can just get it through that way. Bag of marbles at the start of each combat apply 1 vulnerable to all enemies, as well as an electrodynamics. Okay, okay. Well, we've got data disk, we've got electrodynamics, so now this is like, you know, defragment, ball lightning. This is a very aggressive deck right now, and I'm a little worried about that. I'm going to elect to rest here because I don't know whether or not we'll get through the boss without it. I think recursion is probably going to be useful in this deck. Overall, that is. Alright, we're setting up pretty well. The big thing that we don't have in this deck is literally any defense whatsoever. And of course, I consider that to be a problem. So we should try and find us some. Let's pop out an electrodynamics there and just immediately make him sit down. Hell yeah. Totally comfy with that. With the electrodynamics, we already have like a lot of how we are going to handle the next floor setup. Fission. Fission is interesting. Fission is a way to get us through our deck real quickly. And of course, the upgrade is evoke all of the orbs rather. Oh, Fission doesn't have beta right yet. Cool. It's evoke all of the orbs rather than to just remove them. I'll take it. And Sozu, the inability to gain potions, sure. I do need the extra energy, especially in this build. Now what we're looking for is leap, reinforced body, auto shields, glacier. You know, that kind of thing. I do want to try and get the powerful elite down this floor rather than next. I forgot that both of the streamlines weren't necessarily upgraded, so that's my excuse for how that one went. Yeah, we're still extremely lacking defense. Power potion is nice if I could keep it, but I can't, so... Very much need more defensive cards. I literally cannot afford to pick up another aggressive card until I have my defense sorted out. And who knows how long that's going to take at this rate. I may actually want a second self-repair in here. It was actually a good point brought up in the last episode where I elected not to get a second self-repair, likening it to a zap by Brian in the comment section. In particular, saying that after that point, after the point I had made that assertion, I actually did need an extra self-repair a lot of times. So possibly my conclusion wasn't justified. I would say definitely my conclusion wasn't justified. I think I'm just going to take the special relic here. In combination with the bag of marbles, we've got a lot of ability to kind of pump out a ridiculous amount of damage on the first turn. Good gosh. Well, at least it got slightly better at the end there. I say slightly because we have no block. We still have to take 20 damage here. There we go. We're really aggressive. We just need some HP. Thank you. Leap. Extremely pre-upgraded, mind. I think I might actually just die to the upcoming elite without defense. So I'm very hopeful for like fossilized helix or something here. Smiling Mask, the Merchant's card removal service, now always costs 50 gold. It's good. Cool. A couple storms would make this deck go off. Very excited to see something like that going on. As long as that backliner never attacks, we could actually, you know, have a reasonable go of this here. Don't attack this turn. Thank you. We're fine now. I'll elect not to use Fission because we already have lethal next turn if I decide not to. Didn't even take any damage. Oddly Smooth Stone started to combo with 1 dex. That's going to help us with our failing dexterity at the moment. Emerald Key, as well as Capacitor versus Hologram versus Skim. I have to take Capacitor. Yeah. The ability to have more Lightning Orbs out at the same time is just very, very big for us. Unfortunately, it's extremely important this turn that I get the Electrodynamics out. Hello, Electrodynamics. That's 28 damage that's being posed there. So I can take you down to 33, or anyone else down to literal lethal. I mean, I could recurse, which is just 12 damage to everyone, rather than a streamline. That's actually a way... Oh, good lord, that's a way better thing to do. It removes both of the cultists in the front line. I would be very mad at myself had I not eventually seen that. Sadly, I didn't have the self-repair or seek in this hand, so I can't use the seek to get the self-repair. Oh well. Another elite. It's not pre-upgraded, but gosh, do I need it. Well, we're about to get 2 wounds in the deck already. Yikes. Generating a bunch of lightning orbs with that effect is probably the most powerful thing that I am capable of doing right now, so may as well do that then. I think Electrodynamics Ball Lightning dual cast here is lethal. So we currently have 35 damage dealt from our whole orbit, right? If I play Electrodynamics and Ball Lightning, I'm getting 7 damage from the Ball Lightning as well as 12, 12, 12. So 7, 12, 12, 12 is 36. It's 43. 43 on top of 35. Yeah, we've got lethal. This is the one thing the deck is really good at being able to do. Just suddenly generate death. Ornamental Fan. Every time you play 3 attacks in a single turn, gain 4 block. I'm cautious about taking another leap, but I still think I need it. I'd more readily take the Sapphire Key here over the Centennial Puzzle. Just don't start with a big hit. Why? Oh, gosh. So if I defrag, we're on 7 apiece. So 7 apiece means 21 damage dealt at the end of the turn. Recursion then means that on top of that, I'm dealing, so what, 21 as well as 12 is 32. Nowhere near the amount of damage that I need to deal. So I think it's actually Capacitor, Leap, Recursion. I'm just treading water here at the moment. There we go. That's lethal. Unfortunately, I didn't get the self-repair out. Charge battery, yes. 10 as well as energy next turn. Extremely powerful. We'll lose 66 gold here to take a relic, which gives us 30 gold back immediately, as well as a 10% higher likelihood of finding treasure in question mark rooms. If we survive this fight... Oh, gosh. Yeah, I'm using a speed potion. Extra energy next turn is nice. Here's hoping it's enough. Seems to definitely be an incredible boon to us. $14. Now, 14 is a problem because I can't block against that. So unless I have lethal this turn, I'm dead. Can I deal 77 damage this turn? I don't believe so. I actually don't believe so. So dual cast is what? 11 twice in AoE, so 22. So my maximum damage is Streamline plus dual cast and zap after playing a strength potion. If that's not enough to keep me alive, then nothing was going to. And it isn't. So the protocol for a second run in the same episode here, especially after, what, 18 minutes for the first run, is probably going to be play a little more fast and fancy free, because these episodes end up, like a normal run ends up being an hour long. And frankly, I don't have the ability to record, like, a bunch of 1.5 hour videos every day. It is a large cause for the reason that it takes so long to get back on top of my schedule when I get knocked off of it. I'll take the random common relic. Omamori, sure. Sure, not bad. So we've got a line here that is hopefully going to help us get more powerful before the 3 elites that I hope to take on later. So the kinds of things in particular that I'll be looking for include Sunder. Hexaghost. Okay, I'll take Static Discharge. I believe without the Static Discharge, I would have already been long dead. In the previous combat, previous run. Alright. This is very early on. I think I just take the claw. It's too early on to turn down a claw. That was just money. forgot that I had Omori already. I know. Okay. Steroid, auto shields, definitely. Need the defense. I couldn't also throw the claw to start leveling it up without waking up the log of wool in this turn, which I'm not about. But I think ultimately I'll get more damage out of getting the extra lightning orb out. I could have actually just used an extra attack there to generate a lightning orb. That would have been an interesting choice. They don't have a new attack pattern, so that is to say the Lagavulin is not going to be reducing my strength and dex by 2 every single time. It's just going to be the standard assortment of 1. (16 plus 6 is short of lethal. So I'll do the best defense I can this turn, and then just wait. Bottle Flame. Upon pickup, choose an attack card. Start each combat with that attack card in your opening hand. Well, before we do that, I kind of want Melter. Ooh. Do I? I don't know about Melter. I am yet to form a comfortable assessment, I believe, of Melter. So instead I put the claw in my opening hand. Alright, I'm actually going to choose to upgrade here because the auto shields really needs it. Vajra or Sapphire Key? I intend to be using claws, so that would hint that I want to go with the Vajra. I'm also going to veer off to the left here. It's the more danger-laden of the two paths. But remember what I said. The second run in an episode is going to be a little faster and a little fancier free. I'll take a sweeping beam for some AoE, especially considering we might have the Sentinels. We don't, but we could have. Okay. That all turns out pretty well. Okay, Nunchaku. Every time you play 10 attacks, gain an energy and another claw. I mean, yes, this is definitely the kind of thing that I want to get going on. I'm going to need something like a charge battery to help defend myself. As much as I want to pick up the Clockwork Souvenir right now, charge battery might actually help me live through the next combat, and that's necessary. For the same reason, I'll be taking a block potion and then card removing a strike. It's okay. I take only 1 damage this turn, but I generate 2 more lightning orbs, which is nice. That's a trade-off I would consider making. Nunchaku is going to be pretty ridiculous with our claws. Should be pretty damn helpful. Hologram is a little bit of defense, but it's a way to put another claw in my hand. Frankly, that's really the benefit it has. And the thing is, because a claw is always in my opening hand, courtesy of the Bottle Flame, the hologram always has one to bring back. So I'd be playing 3 attacks this turn. I think I'm going to use the steroid potion for that reason. Zap sweeping. No, it's important I not take the damage rather than take the damage just so I can generate more lightning orbs there. Okay. See what we can get done about that backliner. Ooh, it seems pretty likely we can get something done about it. I mean, we managed to take out all the elites that I wanted. If your HPs will gain energy at the start of each turn, as well as an emerald key. Another charged battery or a seek. I think I take the charged battery. Auto shields, 2 charged batteries, just a couple glaciers or cold snaps, and I'm really happy with this. As much as I don't want to rest before the boss fight because the Hexaghost does 60% of your damage effectively, like around about 60% of your maximum HP. Not maximum HP, 60% of your current HP in terms of damage on the second turn. So resting will just increase that. I'm actually capable of blocking that as well. That's one of the reasons this block potion's around. Thank you. 18 damage, 19 block, though. If I wanted to, I could have taken 1 damage there to generate 2 lightning. It actually could have been the correct decision that I just passed up very kind of flippantly. I'll try and keep an eye on that, actually. Half of the HP of the Hexaghost is gone, and we are scaling. We do have, you know, a couple flaws in this deck. That's a lot of lightning right there. I'm going to elect not to play the defend there so that I guarantee that I take damage this turn, so that I guarantee that the Hexaghost dies next turn. I actually shouldn't have played an attack there. I just triggered Nunchaku when I didn't need to. Seek versus Meteor Strike versus Multicast. It's definitely Seek, if anything. Okay. Well, considering how low-cost our deck is currently, because of the low-cost claws and low-cost sap, and the fact that I can, low-cost seek, the return of low-cost cards, 2 charged batteries to give us some energy, as well as a dual cast that can be upgraded to be 0 cost, I don't think necessarily we require a Runic Dome. I think, in fact, maybe the correct decision here, I know that some of you have spotted what I'm about to do, is the Eternal Feather. Hear me out. If we can get to full HP and stay there by ping-ponging between rest sites, we can get the energy that we are currently missing from the Runic Dome. Yes, no, it's less reliable, but we can get that, and given the amount of defense that this deck currently has, might be able to keep it. Also, I'm incentivized to build my deck thicker and thicker and thicker to counter the deck trashing effects that exist in the final combat. Which I believe I say now once or twice every episode, so get used to it. Yeah, there's the 21. That's exactly what I was worried about. Never mind. I ought not have worried at all. We've only got 1 plated armor off the enemy, but we are scaling, so that will increase. Awesome. Pretty much exactly what I wanted. If I can get away without using 2 more attacks, that would be lovely. And I can. Okay, so we've got the Nunchaku ready to trigger at the start of the next combat. Single beam cell. We need some draw, and maybe we should start considering something like scrape as a draw generation for us. Because of the amount of zero cost things we've already added to the deck. That's pretty much how I wanted that one to go down. Oh, yes. We're not going to be fully blocking this turn, but that's about as well as we could have done. I'm really pleased with it. Unfortunately, Hologram had nothing, you know, functional to bring back there. I want to take Overclock, but I understand that on this floor in particular, and especially against the boss, I'm going to be shuffling through my deck a lot of times. That Overclock is going to be a problem pretty quickly. I think it will ultimately save me more HP, though. Definitely Flash of Steel, probably card removal. Whew. Gremlin's madly shuffling cards. Would I take a Discovery? I would definitely take a Rip and Tear. I would definitely take a Leap. Take that Rip and Tear. Would I take the Discovery, though? Yes. I think there are enough cards in the Defect that are high cost that Discovery is kind of regularly wild. Unfortunately, we're all small attacks, so this is going to be a problem. Eh. Not a huge fan of how this one's going. Shield, static defend, charge. With all of that done, we're still not going to full defend. Wild. Boot sequence. Innate gain 10 block. It's going to help us get through that opening turn. It's oftentimes kind of bleeding us dry. As much as I want to go for rest, elite, rest, I actually do want, you know. Oh, do I? No, I don't want shops. Never mind. Rest, elite, rest is correct. Let's get the Discovery upgraded. In long-term fights, it's going to be pretty wild. Sunder. Well, I mean, all for one? Yeah, it's all for one here. Okay, let's seek out the other claw, play that claw, then we'll all for one. Getting the claws back. I'm gonna hologram back that all for one. Get all those claws back. My discard pile is absolute trash right now, but we got to remove someone from the field on the first turn. 50-50 chance to make me happy. Yay! There we go. 50-50. 50% of the time, it's 50% of the time, 50% of the time. Is that how that quote goes? I think that's how that quote goes. Huh. While I've been trashing my deck, so has the Taskmaster. If we could get an all-for-one in the actual deck, we would be off to the races. I'm going to take the upgraded Cold Snap. Provides defense. Also thickens up the deck. Thickening up the deck. The Eternal Flower, by the way, for every 5 cards you have in your deck, heal 3 HP whenever you enter a rest site. So we're healing 15 as we enter ours. Which is nice. It's good. It's a very good thing. Let's upgrade that Seek because we actually do need to pull out extra cards early. No, this is a Sapphire Key. We need the Sapphire Key at some point, and that's a pretty comfy place to take it. The Regal Pillow is actually quite powerful. As we're going further and further through the Ascensions, I am gaining a greater and greater appreciation of it. I don't want to play the boot sequence. It defends us for 1 HP this turn, but not using it leaves the ability for me to use it later. Static Discharge is more of a long combat kind of stitch. I should have done Seek before I tried to draw there, so I could have populated a new deck. That would have been the correct way to handle that. Hey, look, Big Sequence turned up in time, so now I don't have to use Dual Cast on my Frost Orb unnecessarily. And pretty much this is exactly how we wanted this to go now. Lovely. We would definitely leap on a couple more claws, but if they're not offered, I don't know if that's going to be a significant problem for us. Do you have to show up this late, Darkness? I can't pivot into a Darkness build right now. Ball Lightning is more aggression than I need right now. I need the defense. Double Energy is, obviously kind of laughable for this deck. Yeah. And then I'll hologram back the Discovery and replay it. That buffer could actually be quite powerful for us. In fact, it looks like it may well be right now. Unfortunately, because I wasn't able to entirely defend myself against this attack, I was never going to be preventing the loss of the buffer, so I may as well just get the buffer lost for, as much value as I can get out of it. No, I need the instantaneous damage more than I need to increment my next claw. I think, at least. Okay. Defend for 5. I think I'm going to roll the Discovery here. Okay. I'm pretty comfy with how that turned out. Discovery was risky, but it had a way higher upside than any of the other things I could have done that turn. $15, $15, $10, $15, $10, $8, $15, $10, $8, $18, $15, $32. What? 33. Nice. Pre-upgraded Sweeping Beam. The reason I'm considering it right now is because of this boss fight. I'll take it. We're going to need some AoE in that boss fight, unfortunately. 4 hologram, 4 Cold Tap. I'm going to throw out the weaken potion rather than use the boot sequence. Again, it's a situation where I want to keep the boot sequence for later. Yeah, Sunder. Playing as Sunder for, extraordinarily low cost, let's say. It's quite good. You're trying to deal 15 damage this turn. I have less block than that, but I'm actually kind of comfortable with you dealing some damage to me this turn. Because of the amount of damage that I get to get out in response. Well, actually prior, but still. I hate that I keep getting the Nunchaku charges where I actually can't use the extra energy in any way. Am I defensive or aggressive? Defensive. We'll be taking 2 damage this turn, but it's okay. Pretty much any next hand will kill. When I said pretty much any, though. Clearly, I wasn't counting for that. Matroshka, the next 2 boss relics you open contain 2 relics. There's another hologram, sure. Next 2 boss chests, that is. I actually just want the block potion right now. I'm worried that if I don't take that there, I lose the boss fight. And yes, I'm going for the extra elite because I'm that greedy. This buffer actually prevents 14 damage. That's real good. Again, we are playing riskier than we otherwise might. Specifically. So the backliner kills me, but I get revived. For the dual cast. Blue Candle. Playable curse cards can never be played. Whenever you play a curse, lose 1 HP and exhausted, as well as an ancient potion and another auto shields. Yeah, I fear that didn't really turn out the way I wanted. We did get a large heal at the very end of that fight, and I'm about to rest for an even larger heal. Thank you, Regal Pillow. Which is why I wasn't so concerned about going into that combat. I didn't think it was necessarily as risky. Or rather, I didn't necessarily think it was extremely risky, but it definitely turned out to be riskier than I thought it was. Relying, especially on the discovery, it's a rough game to play. Speaking of relying on the discovery being a rough game to play, it's time to rely on the discovery. Wah. Ah, couldn't just double hit the front line with the lightning? So the first impact there was weaken, I believe. Yeah, I'm definitely dead now. So I could have used artifacting to prevent the weaken, but not the frailty and not the vulnerability. Damn. For the moment, though, my name is Rhapsody, the name of the game. It's been Slay the Spire. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we will see you next time.